feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win.
Welcome to the post-show wrap-up for the Seattle Shrimp Tank. I'm Brad Berger. I'm joined with my co-host, Dan Whedon. We want to make sure that you not only catch the full video, but you catch us on seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com and also subscribe to not only this podcast, but all of our future and past podcasts by subscribing on iTunes. So, Dan, I'd like to have you introduce our guest today.
You know, Brad, it's my pleasure because my book, Unleashed Leadership, would not have been possible without our guest today, Ingemar Anderson from Kitsap Publishing. We had a very interesting discussion about publishing in the 21st century.
Well, and we led off with an amazing answer to a question, because what I wanted to ask Ingemar was, based upon the time that he started Kitsap Publishing, was during a time that many individuals thought that the print industry was dead. So I would like to ask Ingemar just to express a little bit about the importance of innovation in the print industry.
That's interesting. I answered this question, and I will answer this question in the actual interview in a longer fashion. But on a short note, what is the case is that there's actually not a crisis in the printing. Really, what actually happens is that the innovation happens with the writer and the authors. So basically, there's an explosion of information that needs to get out there. And if it's on the print media, or if it's on an ebook, or if it's in a blog post, or in interviews like this, that's actually what really is the spark here. Mm-hmm. And the innovation comes in, how do you get this to life? And printing is just one way to get it to life. And printing will, in my opinion, always stay there, because it's almost good to have something tangible, and that's just a small fraction of, you know, the media that we can use.
Thank you, Ingemar.
Well, you know, Ingemar, I think writing autobiographies is a really interesting thing. My dad did one, but he stopped when I was born, and I asked him why, and he said, I didn't do anything else. And I think there's a lot of people out there, entrepreneurs, who don't think about writing because they don't think they've done anything, that they don't have a story. What do you think about that?
Well, that is a very untrue thing, that people would actually think their life or their experience is not important. What my experience is, every author that came into my office and talked to me about publishing, they had a story to tell which was not only compelling and engaging, but also astonishing and a wealth of information. So my point is really to say everybody has a story, and I think it's not because I want to publish all of these stories or I'm a publisher, but it's true. And when people think about what they have done in their life, even if it was just working somewhere in a small job, there's always, actually, as a matter of fact, I have one author who exactly did that at the Seattle Press, and he has impressive things to say about that. So that's the short answer, I guess. But yeah, everybody has really a story to tell.
Thank you.
Well, I know one of the other things that we talked about, Ingemar, was the promotion of your book and the importance of the involvement of the author as well as a publisher. But could you talk a little bit about the importance of self-promotion or promotion that the author needs to be involved in?
Nowadays, what the big publishers are doing, or what appears what they're doing, is they take on new authors that are already successful, or at least at a small level. And as a matter of fact, publishers ask authors to have an audience about 10,000 followers on Twitter or Facebook. So, in other words, a new author, if you have a book, or if you have just a manuscript or an idea, you already need a fellowship, so you need to engage in your own promotion to actually get to a point where your book is being noted. There's no way a publisher would just take you up, based on your manuscript and say, this is great. In some circumstances, that might be still the case, but most of the time, that their chances are very slim. So self-promotion is key for every author.
Well, great. I know another thing that we discussed during your interview, Ingemar, was some content on your website, which includes, I believe what you said was the top 10 reasons that individuals should publish. And I want to give you an opportunity to promote your website What is it, and how can people get in touch with you?
So the website is kitsappublishing.com. Kitsap is a county in Washington, Western Washington, and that's where the name came from. So kitsappublishing.com. And with the thing you're referring to on the website, or the things that I listed, why should you write a book? There are, I just counted them, about 10 reasons. And the most important things that I mentioned before in the interview is really, if you have a business, of course, it will promote your business. You can give it to your customers. You can give them the book and actually explain in the book what your business is really about. So they learn about your business. They don't need to ask you all these questions. You save time, but also you have a much more efficient way to explain your business. When you write the book, that's, I think, the most important reason why you write a book, because you will lay out yourself what you are actually doing, and if people try it out, write down what they're doing, or what their profession is, they will learn, or anything that they're doing. Once you write it down, it's an exercise that will help just anybody in their career.
So this is one of the many gems you'll find by listening to the entire podcast. I want to thank my co-host Dan Whedon and our guest today, Ingemar Anderson, for joining us. Remember, you can catch the replay of all of our podcasts at seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com. We encourage you to never miss either a past or future episode by subscribing to the podcast on iTunes.com. We'll see you again in 2 weeks at 4 p.m. for our live broadcast of our next podcast. Until then, go Army, beat Navy.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank.